Good morning, students. How are you doing? Hope you are staying safe. All right. This morning we are going to continue with our teaching. We've established habitats before now, and we said that habitats are environments that living organisms live. Okay? And we say there are different types of habitat. We say terrestrial, which are habitat on land, aquatic, which are habitat around the water bodies or the water bodies, okay, that involve water bodies. We finished the habitat lesson and we veered into the adaptation. And we said that adaptation are adjustments of the body of living organisms that makes them to get adjusted to the habitat they find themselves. Okay? So we made mention of different types of adaptation. We say structural adaptation, which is more of a morphological adaptation, as in that has to do with the possession of different kinds of structural features, physical ones that helps organisms to do what? To adjust to the environment they find themselves. We also talked about physiological adaptation, and we say it has to do with changes in the internal organ of the body that helps organisms to get adjusted to the environment they find themselves, and so on and so forth. And we also talked about behavioral adaptation. We say that these are characters or behaviors that organisms put up that makes them to be used to their environment or to adjust to their environment. And today we are now going to look at adaptive features of organism to its habitat. Of course, you know habitat means environment where organisms live. So we are looking at adaptive features of organism. What are we saying? What are those things that makes an organism? Remember, we talked about there are types of adaptation. We say structural, morphological, physiological, and behavioral. So we are saying among what structural features or what behavioral features or physiological features that a particular organism possesses that makes him to get adjusted to that environment he finds himself, or that makes him to live in that environment he finds himself. For instance, now, what is it that a lion has that makes him to be able to live in a forest? You know, if we take you to the forest now, you can't live in the forest because you don't have the features, you don't have the characters or the characteristics that the lion has or other forest animals have that makes them to be able to live comfortably in the forest. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, for instance, the fish that lives for how many years in the river, in the water, if I pick you and I put inside the water, in the river, you cannot survive. You will get drowned. But a tiny fish can stay in the river or in the stream or in the pond for so much a time. It therefore means that there is something about that organism that makes it unique to be able to live in that particular habitat or that particular environment that you don't have. I don't know why you understand what I'm saying. Okay? So there are some particular specific features that an organism has, be it an animal, be it whatever kind of organism, whatever class of organism, whether a reptile, amphibian, mammal, whatever. There are that specific features and characters that very organism have, that you don't have, that makes it possible for that organism to be able to survive in that particular habitat. I gave you example like fish. I gave you example like lion that is in the forest, camel in the desert. Camel is a desert animal. If I take you to the desert now, there is no water in the desert, there is no food in the desert. How can you survive? But animals survive there. In the forest, animals survive in the forest. They survive in the desert. In the water, animals survive in the water. The fish, the crocodile, they are in the water. Even on air, the bird flies in the air. Why are you not flying? Ah, very nice. Somebody said because he does not have wings to fly. Good. So that is one of the features of an organism that makes it to survive in the air. Okay? All right, so quickly, we want to look at the adaptive features of organism to its habitat. What do they possess that make them to live where they live comfortably? Okay, so make sure you are putting down your notes in your book. When you resume to on campus, I'm going to check your notes and make sure that you are copying your notes. All right. Okay, let's look at our specific objective. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to state some adaptive features of some living organisms to their environment. We gave example like fish, bird, desert animals, forest animals, and so on and so forth. Now, state some adaptive features of man to its environment. The second specific objective is your assignment. You are going to give me adaptive features of man. What makes man? What characters do man have that makes it to live very comfortably on land? Yeah. Why is it that when we bring fish and keep fish on land now, within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, the fish will die? When we bring a frog from the water and keep on land or something, what happens? What is that feature that man has that makes man, you and I, what is that feature that we have that makes us to survive? Yeah. So that is your assignment. So let's quickly look at what we have for today. Let's start with the fish. Beautiful. Adaptive features of fish. What are the features? What are the characters? What are the characteristics that a fish possesses that makes it to be able to survive or to adapt to the river bodies or to the water bodies? Number one, I think there are 4 of them. There are more, but let's just look at these 4. You can research others. They have gills for breathing. Wonderful. Wow, is that why the fish could survive? Is that why the fish are surviving in the river, in the stream, in the pond? They have gills for breathing. Wonderful. Do you have gills for breathing? No, you don't have gills. What do you have? Lungs. Lungs. Mammals, you are a mammal. We have lungs. What aids us in breathing is the lungs. Why for the fish is the gills. That is why you cannot be able to survive in the water. Because you don't have gills. You don't breathe with your gills. You don't have gills. Human beings don't possess gills. What do they have? They have lungs. Okay? So that's number one. They have gills for breathing. Fishes. We're talking about fish now. They have streamlined bodies. Wonderful. They have streamlined bodies which help them swim freely in water. Look at streamlined bodies. Can you see the fish? You can see how when we talk about streamlined bodies, we're talking about the shape of the fish. You can see how the shape of the fish is curved. Now, this is what we call streamlined body. It is curved. Look at the edges. Look at the shape. This is a streamlined shape. What is it called? So a fish has a streamlined shape. So these human beings don't have streamlined shape. That is why even if we swim, we try our best to swim, we cannot swim the distance a fish will swim. We cannot swim the long distance a fish will swim. Okay? So we cannot even swim that freely like a fish. A fish, we see a fish, it will just go like this, go like this. Before you know, it has gotten to the extreme. Why was it possible? Because of its streamlined body. The shape of a fish is called a streamline. All right. So let's go back. So they have a streamlined bodies which help them swim freely in water. Now, number 3, they are cold-blooded, which helps them live in water. They are cold-blooded. So that is why they can do what? They can sustain in a cold region because they are cold-blooded. That's why they can sustain in a cold region. That's why when you bring a fish and keep a fish in a hot environment, it can't sustain there. Once you put a fish on fire, that's the end of it. Or you bring it and keep under the sun, it will just die. They need to be in cold regions because they are cold-blooded. They are what? Cold-blooded. So they need to be in cold regions. That's why they are always in the river where it is cold. They are in the stream where it is cold, in the pond, in the water where it is cold. They need cold bodies. You are not cold-blooded. You are not an amphibian. Most amphibians are cold-blooded. They have to be in the cold region, like frog. Okay? Now, let's look at the 4th one. They have several fins which help them to swim. Now, look at all this. Look at all this. Look at the tail. You see that long flap by the tail? It's called the tail fins. It is even look at the line that is as if it's cutting through the middle. Can you see a fin by the line cutting through the middle? It's called the lateral fins. Now look at the 2 that is by each side, as if like wings. The 2 that is by the side like wings. Can you see them? Can you see it? Very good. These are also fins. So a fish possesses a lot of fins. It has lateral fins, it has tail fins, it has dorsal fins, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the features that enables a fish to live comfortably or to get adapted in water. That is why when you take a fish from River Niger and you go to River Benue and you dump that same fish in River Benue, can the fish survive there? Yes, it can survive there. Why? Because it has the qualities, the characteristics and features to survive in that habitat. It has the gills, it has the streamlined bodies, it is cold-blooded, so it can be able to stay in the water. So it has fins that will help it swim. Okay, that is for fish. Adaptive features of frog. Have you seen a frog before? Look at a frog. Look at a frog. This is a frog. Have you seen a frog before? Very good. How does frog do? Okay, so some of us when we live now, sometimes in the night you hear frog, it will be crying, and so on and so forth. Okay, adaptive features of frog. Number 1, they have bulgy eyes. Their eyes are so round and big, very big, which make them to see in front, far front, by the side, and partly behind them for prey and predators. I'm going to tell you what a prey is. I'm going to tell you what a predator is. Now, A frog has bulgy eyes, bulging, as if the eyes want to pull off. Okay, as if the eyeball is going to pull off. So they have bulgy eyes, which makes them to see far front, to see in front. At the same time, they are seen at the sideways, and they are also seen partly behind them at the back, which you as a human being, as a mammal, you don't have that character. You don't have a bulgy eyes to see all through. Now these eyes help them to see far, to know when a predator is coming. Do you know what a predator is? A predator is a bigger animal that can intimidate the smaller animal, and a bigger animal that will just come, intimidate and suppress a smaller animal, take his food. It can even chase him away from his habitat and dwell in that habitat, and so on and so forth. Now you can see, if like a frog, we are talking about frog. A lion can be a predator. When a lion comes, he can eat it up. A lion can eat the frog. So you be hearing things like in the night. These are frogs. You just hear these are frogs. That's why somebody will tell you your eyes is as big as a frog. So these are the features a frog has, okay, that makes it to survive in its habitat. Okay, so when he sees a bigger animal, because of his bulgy eyes in the water, he can see when a bigger fish is coming to eat it up, or a crocodile. It will just do what? It will take off. So a prey, what of prey? Preys are smaller animals. So now we are talking about frog and lion. So lion is a predator, while prey is the frog. These are smaller animals that could be intimidated or suppressed. Now, number two, they have long and strong legs, which they use for jumping and swimming long distances, mostly to escape from predators and to catch prey. You see, you escape from predators because predators are coming to suppress you and to intimidate you. Okay? Now, meanwhile, you catch prey because you can intimidate prey. Prey are smaller organisms that you can get hold of, and you can use it as your food, or you can use it for anything you like. They are weaker. Okay, so now they have long and strong legs. Frogs, we're talking about frogs. We are done with fish. They have long and strong legs. We are looking at organisms, the features and characteristics they have that make it possible for them to live where they are, and why you are not living there. So we have looked at fish. We are now looking at frog. We say frog has bulky eyes that make them see far, behind, sideways, front, against predators, and to know when prey are coming to get them and make them their food. Now we are also talking about they have long and strong legs, which they use for jumping. Long and strong legs they use for jumping and swimming long distance. Those long strong legs help them to swim. If they see a predator coming to catch them, if they see a predator coming to eat them up, they will take off. They will run. The long legs and strong legs they have will help them to swim long distance, and they will just escape from the predators. And when they see a prey, a smaller animal that they can get hold of and eat, they will run with their long and strong legs and go and catch that prey and devour the prey. Now let's look at it. Wow, you can see the legs of the frog. You can see how long it is. Are you not seeing how long? He's stretching the legs. He's stretching his legs. Look at how long it is. You can see long and strong. Is your leg that long? No. Now look at his eyes. Are you not seeing how big his eyes is? Very big. So with that eyes, you can see that he can see side, he can see front, far front, and even partly behind. Far front rather, and partly behind. Look at the frog legs. Very long. This helps it to swim very far. Okay, that is that for frog. Oh, toad. Toad. Have you seen a toad before? Bro. Toad is almost, or is similar rather, to frog. Toad is what? Similar to frog. They have webbed feet. You know, toad stays in moist area, swampy place, stagnant water, swampy place, moist environment. Okay, that is how will I put it? That is is a land, but has to do. It's moist. Okay, usually when we say moist, we are talking about maybe sand mixed with some kind of water, stagnant water or something of that nature. Okay, those things you call. You hear when somebody say, this pito. It's not pito. They call it moist area. So that pito is what we call moist area. You are laughing. So it's moist area we call it. So toad stays in those kind of areas, and you cannot stay there. You cannot stay there. Okay? Now, they have webbed feet. I'm going to tell you what webbed feet is, which help them dig inside the soil to protect them in colder temperatures. Now, toad is not like frog that stays even in water. Toad stays in moist, not too cold environment. Now, when the place gets too cold, in order for it to protect itself, it will use its webbed feet. Webbed means, now look at my hand. Can you see my hand? You know, if my hand is like this, I'm just giving you an illustration. I have the picture, but I want you to understand it before I show you the picture. Now, look at my hand. Webbed feet is something like glued together. Okay? Glued together. A kind of. Long and glued together. A kind of. Now, they toad use, because of the ability it has, the presence of the webbed feet, he used that webbed feet to dig the soil. Can you use your feet to dig the soil? No. You see the difference between you and a toad? So he used that webbed feet to dig the soil when the place is cold, especially when the weather is so cold or when it's getting rainy. It digs the soil and protects itself, okay, against cold. And protect itself against what? Cold. Are we together? So that is for toad. Now, they have been known to fill themselves with air, which make them appear larger and more difficult to be swallowed by predators. Now, you see toad is not like frog. You see frog is still frog, the size of frog, but see the size of toad. You see toad is bigger. Now, toad has that tendency, they have been known to fill themselves with air. They have that tendency to blow larger, like this. Now, when a predator comes, remember I told you what a predator is. A bigger animal that has the ability to do what? To suppress or eat up a smaller animal. So when the predator comes, and he sees the toad, because of how large the toad is, it has the ability to fill itself with air. It now becomes biggie. So the predator finds it difficult to swallow it. So that is the adaptive feature a toad has. Now look at it. Can you see the web feet I was talking about? Look at the web feet. Look at the web feet I was talking about. Look at it. You can see even the way it is positioned. It's even as if it's trying to dig the soil. It's positioned as if he wants. So that is what you use in digging the what? Digging the soil. To get protection from cold what? From cold temperature. And you see how blown it is. You see how big and blown it is. It's not like a frog. So when a predator comes, you find it difficult to swallow it. Let's go. Adaptive features of birds. This one is simple, easy. You know these ones already. They have wings. You know the wings now. They have wings. They have feathers. You know feathers. That thing sometimes your daddy will put it in his ear and scratch his ear long like this. And Igwe and Chiefs, they used to put it in their red cap. Sure, you know that thing now? They put it in their red cap like this. That is a feather. Then they have light bones. Oh, birds have light bones. It's not, they don't have strong bones like our own. Strong and heavy bones. They have light, very light bones. That is why they can carry their body and fly. Pew! You know, when you see a bird fly, you think it does not even have bone. It has bone, but its bone is very light. That is why they can carry themselves. You see, they just fly. Pew! But you cannot fly because you have a bigger bone and you have stronger bones. Okay, so they have wings, they have feathers, they have light bones that helps them to fly. They have other adaptive features, but I just want us to look at this one so that you can remember and know, oh, this is what makes a bird to fly, and that's why you cannot fly. That's why a bird will just sustain in the air, and so on and so forth. Now, when they see predators, I remember, don't forget, predators are bigger animals that come to suppress and oppress and eat up a smaller animal. So when they see a predator, once a predator, maybe a vulture is coming now, a vulture is coming to eat a smaller bird, the bird will just fly, phew! Or maybe that's why you see when a dog is pursuing a bird, the bird will just do what? Fly, phew! That dog is a predator. The dog is what? A predator. Good. Now, and that small bird is a prey. So now, when the bird also sees is a prey to a smaller animal that it can oppress, maybe an earthworm or a millipede or something, it will fly and go and get that millipede or that lizard or cockroach. Now, they have wings, they have feathers, they have light bones. You can see a bird. You can see the wings. You can see the feathers. You can see how sustained. You can see that we are seeing okay, now I've told you the difference between predator and a prey. Look at the two birds. Which one is a predator? Which one is a prey? Good. The one up is a what? Is a predator. And the one down is a what? Is a prey. Alright. Let's move on. Adaptive features of forest animals. Good. We are gradually going to the tough ones. When we look at forest animals, we also look at desert animals. Adaptive features of forest animals. They have the ability to camouflage. Who can tell me the meaning of camouflage? When you say an animal is, you know, have you heard somebody say that you have many colors like a chameleon? You behave like a chameleon. What does it mean to behave like a chameleon? It's a proverb. People use it in adage. You behave like a chameleon. What does it mean? It means that you have different lifestyle. You have different lifestyle. Now, a chameleon has different colors. It can show you different colors. Now, forest animals, they have the ability to camouflage. What does it mean to camouflage? When a bigger animal is coming, a predator, let's use a biological terms, predator and prey. When a predator is coming, maybe something like a lion. Let's keep using the lion. Lion is the king of the forest. When you see a lion coming, boom, 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 and a forest animal, one animal in the forest, a smaller animal sees that a lion is coming far. Because it has the ability to camouflage, it will just, maybe if there's grass or whatever there, it can just change its color to look like the environment of that place. Oh, come on, are you getting what I'm saying? It will just change its color. It will just, maybe if that environment is green, It will just have the tendency of just changing its color, and it will just blend. The animal will blend with the green environment of that place, and the lion will just come and pass the animal, and it will be thinking that it is part of the environment, it is part of that surrounding, or it is part of the bush there. It will not know that there is an animal that has camouflaged itself to look, to suit, to fit into the background of that area. Let me explain it. As I'm explaining it, write it down or put it down. They have ability to camouflage. I'm explaining what it means to camouflage. I say camouflage means changing colors. They have different colors. Now, that animal have the tendency and ability to adjust to fit to the environment, to fit to the arena of that place. If the place is a bush and maybe it's all shades yellow or green, okay, as a lion is passing, the animal has the tendency and ability to change itself to suit or to fit that arena or that environment, to fit to the color of that place, so that when the lion passes, it will not notice that it's a different animal, it's a prey that is there. It will think that it is part of the bush or part of the green environment that is there. I don't know why you're getting what I'm saying. Now, number 2, they have the mimicry ability. They have the word mimicry ability. Adaptive features of forest animals. They have the mimicry ability. What does it mean? From the word mimicry, what does it mean? The word mimicry, what does it mean rather? Now, it's gotten from the word mimic, to mimic someone. When we say you want to mimic somebody, what does it mean? You are imitating that person. Now, you want to be like that person, you want to act like that person, you want to do like that person. If the person always cough, you want to also do. If the person always laugh, you also want to laugh. If the person is doing, okay, now let's mimic a dog. Mimic a dog. Have a dog barks. Mimic. Who. You see, we are mimicking a dog now. Who. Now let's mimic a goat. Meh, meh, meh. I'm mimicking a goat. Now let's mimic a cock. Kukuruku, kukuruku. Now, what are we trying to do? We are mimicking the animal. We are acting like the animal. We are behaving like the animal. So forest animals have the ability to act or to behave like another animal. Hello? You know, remember, in number 1, they have the ability to camouflage. That camouflage, so that a bigger animal will not see them. They are hiding from a bigger animal. So they will now camouflage to fit into the surrounding of that place. They will change their color so that that bigger animal will not notice them. Now they are hiding from a bigger animal. But number 2, they are no more hiding again. They are not hiding. They have the ability to mimic. So when a predator is coming, they have the ability to behave as if they are not the real person they are looking for. Now, for instance, let's keep using our lion as a predator, and we have another forest animal. Okay, maybe we have maybe monkey or any other forest animal. Okay, any other word, forest animal, maybe the little ones. Now, what are we trying to say? That forest animal has the ability. I don't want to start calling forest animals for you, because this part, at the end of this lecture, you see it as my assignment for you to give me 10 forest animals and 10 desert animals. They are at the end of my notes, at the end of my lecture. So they have the ability to mimic, to behave like another animal. so that when a bigger animal sees them, he will see them with the eye of it's not this animal, it's this other animal. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Now, take for instance, your mom comes to the house and you went and changed yourself. If your sister is to make her hair somehow, you go and color your hair like your sister's own. You go and wear your sister's clothes. You start talking like your sister, so that your mom will feel that you are not. It's not you yourself. You are the other one. Do you understand? You are acting like your younger sister. You are mimicking your younger sister. So that is the same thing that occurs in forest animals. They have the ability to mimic another animal. Wow. Okay, I think this is a mistake. Please don't put this down. Bodies which help them swim freely in water. No. It's not part of it, please. Please, it's not part of it. Please take note of it. Bodies which help. I'm just saying this now. I think this is a mistake. So number 2 just ends at they have the mimicry ability. Okay, please don't put down bodies which help them swim freely in water. Don't put it down. I think that was for fish also. I don't know why it's reflecting here. So let's skip it and go to number 3. They have the nocturnality ability. Wow, these are big grammars, but it means simple things. What does it mean? For what are we talking about when we talk about nocturnality ability? We are trying to say that they are more active in the night, and in the day, that is when they sleep and rest. Forest animals, they are more active in the night. In the night, all through, they can walk around in the forest. They can move from one place to another in the forest. But in the night, in the day, they'll just relax and sleep and rest. Come on, are you understanding what I'm saying? They can walk around. They can do all sorts of things in the night. They are very, very active. But in the daytime, what happens? They will now be resting and sleeping. So number 4, they can migrate. They can what? They can migrate. What does it mean to migrate? They can move from one place to another. One place to another. What does it mean? For instance, maybe when they see that a predator is coming, don't forget, what is the predator we are using? A lion. When they see a lion is coming, they have the ability and tendency to change their location. They will just change their location or change their habitat. When they know that this animal knows that they are always here, they will just change. So they have that ability. Okay, we are looking at adaptive features of forest animals. Let's look at, look at a chameleon. Have you seen a chameleon? See all the colors it has. Now you can see that it has changed itself to suit with these plants. So when an animal a predator is passing, the predator will not know that there is a prey here. The predator will not know that there is a food here he can eat. The predator will not know that there is an animal here that he can just devour and eat and bite and just chew. So the lion will just pass thinking that it is part of this plant. Have you seen that it has blended its color to suit this plant? That's why I told you that it has, look at what I said, they have ability to camouflage. So you can see the camouflage here. It has camouflaged its color and it has blended to suit what? To suit this very plant. Okay? So you can see it's very self-explanatory now. Okay, that is for forest animals. Let's look at adaptive features of desert animals. Oh, okay. Number 1, they have the nocturnality ability, just like the forest animals. I told you nocturnality means that they have the ability. They will be very active in the night, In the night, they are all active, they are awake, they are doing their normal business and duties. But in the daytime, that's when you see them sleeping and resting. So you see, it is the opposite of us. When do we rest? We rest in the night and we are active in the day. So that is why you cannot fit in to be a desert animal. Now, number two, they can dig underground to get away from the sun heat. You know, in the desert is a dry land, an arid land. It's dry, really dry. Why? Because you have very hot temperature there. So desert is a very hot place. It's a hot environment, hot region. So because of the hotness of that place, the place seems to have a lot of heat because the sun rays there is too high. So desert animals have the ability to do what? To dig underground, very deep down underground, to get away from the sun heat, so that it will be like a what? A covering for them, a protection for them from the sun heat. Okay. 3, they have humps which help them store fats and water. Now, you know, I will show you what a hump is. You know, in the desert, you have lack of water in the desert because the place, I said the place is hot. The weather in the desert is very hot. So they always lack water. There's no water in the desert. Okay? So because of that, the desert animals store fat and water that could last them even 2 weeks in their home. Now look at it. Example of a desert animal is what? A camel. In my assignment, don't write camel for me again. Don't write camel for me again. Now you can see that this is a desert. You can see the ground so dried. You can see the weather here. Even from this graph, even from this picture, you can see that the place is so dry. And you can see that this animal is even dry. It's not fleshy. Now, look at the back of the animal. Look at this place that is high. That looks like a hunchback. Can you see it? What is it called? It's called a hump. It's called what? A hump. That is where, due to the lack of food and water, due to the lack of food and water in the desert animal has the tendency of storing fat and water in their hump to sustain them. To do what? To sustain them, for sustainability, because there is lack of water and there is lack of food in the desert. Now you can see peculiar features to these animals, to these different organisms in their habitats. Peculiar, very peculiar. We started with the fish. You can see where that mistake came from in is it in forest animal, where we were where is it? We said they have the mimicry ability, and we now see bodies which help them swim freely in water. Please, that is a mistake. I think it was from this fish. Where is the fish? I can see it. Bodies which help them swim freely in water. Can you see it? So it's a mistake, please. It's a mistake. So you just end it at they have the ability to mimicry ability. Now, so we have looked at features. We have looked at features of the fish that helps them to survive in their habitats. We've even shown fish. We have looked at features of frog, which help them survive. We've shown frog. We've looked features of toad. We've seen toad. We've seen features of birds. We look at the birds. We've seen features of forest animals, and we use chameleon as an example. Look at this, a chameleon. And we have looked at features of desert animals, and we also say camel. Now look at my assignments for you. State the adaptive features of man to his environment. Remember, that was supposed to be our second specific objective. State some adaptive features of man to its environment. But I'm giving it to you as an assignment, and you must do it. So put it in your notes. It's part of this work. It's part of this class. But I want you to research on it so that you read on it. State the adaptive features of man to his environment. Very simple. Tell me why you are surviving in this environment. Tell me why you are surviving in your habitat. Are you not a man? You are. So give 10 examples each of desert animals and forest animals. Give 10 examples each of desert animals and forest animals. So these are the 2 assignments I need from you, and you are going to send it to my WhatsApp number. Copy it on your notes, snap and send to my WhatsApp number. This is the first assignment for JS1. JS2, I've given them almost 4 or 5 assignments. So do this, get it done, and get it back to me. I'm going to post my WhatsApp number on the JS1 WhatsApp group for your parents so that they can see it and they will get the assignment back to me. Stay blessed and stay safe.